Thank you. You can. You don't have to. Nope.
We'll be live 100% of the time.
Good. For yourself?
Yeah, I got what I'm looking for agendas.
They're on the chair over there.
For the room, this one's for Zoom. Try to talk at them if you can, but no worries.
Good evening and welcome to the May Board of Commissioners meeting for Houghton County. We'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Chairman Tickner?
Here.
Commissioner Harriman?
Present.
Commissioner Anderson?
Here.
Commissioner Jackson? Here. Commissioner Brits?
Here.
We have a full quorum. Thank you. Next on the agenda, and by the way, for anyone attending here, if you cared for a copy of the agenda, those are available at the side chair over there. Moving on to item D, which is the approval of the minutes for April 6th. Also the work session of, well, actually it's the April 6th work sessions and the April 14th regular meeting. When your commissioners are ready, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Both the regular April 14th meeting and the April 6th work session.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Jensen, supported by Commissioner Karanen to approve the minutes from the April 6th work session and the April 14th regular meeting. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Item E is the agenda. What is your wish on the agenda? Do you want to accept it as presented or with additions?
I'll make a motion, we accept it as presented.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen to approve the agenda as presented. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have item F, which is public comments. We ask for a 3-minute limit. You will be timed. This is on this first effort. It will be limited to agenda items only. Are there any public comments? Is anyone logged in, Alex?
I've got a couple of people online. I haven't seen anything from them yet.
Are there any public comments? Hearing none, we'll move on. Next are the approval of the bills. This month totaling $1,693,000. Excuse me, $1,693,163.79. Do we have a recommendation from our finance committee?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Keranen, supported by Commissioner Anderson to approve the payment of the bills. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Kiernan,
Yes.
Commissioner Jansen,
Yes.
Chairman Tickman,
Yes,
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
the motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on to item H, which are reports. We'll start with our commissioners. Commissioner Keranen.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to thank Kurt Judson. As you all have received the email, he'll be leaving us here shortly, so I'd like to thank him for his fine service
Yeah.
with the transfer station and find someone else to fill his shoes. So I'd like to publicly thank him for the how many years? I don't know. Several years, numerous years of dedicated service to the whole county. So thank him, and everything else I have is in the agenda. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Jensen.
I guess I'd like to echo what Commissioner Keranen just said and thank Kurt Judson for his work at the transfer station. He did an amazing job. One other thing that we probably will be talking about a lot in the next few months is data centers and how that's going to affect the area if they come here. And I really don't want the townships, villages and cities to be taken off guard like they were with the wind turbines. So it's something to really think about now and how to prepare if that is something that your community does not want. So now's the time to prepare. So I did speak to a group of people who are kind of researching that and the pluses and minuses. And I think on our next agenda, I may have them come and present. That's all.
Thank you. Commissioner Anderson.
Pass.
Commissioner Britz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have one item later on under new business, and I can pass on the rest to you.
Very good. Most of what I have to report is dealt with further in the agenda, so we'll keep the ball rolling. I'm looking for county officers, department heads. I see our executive director here from Canal View, Adam Laplander. Welcome. Do you have anything to share?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. So our census as of today is 135. I'd like to report that. I'd also like to share with you that we recently moved into a 4-star facility spot, a refresh from CMS. That occurred last month, and we are the only 4-star facility in the area. We're celebrating Nursing Home Week this week at the facility, and so far it's going very well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate, thanks for always for good news. Congratulations. Next, I see in attendance, I'd like to welcome our airport manager, Casey Polkinghorn.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Pretty busy up at the airport. I'll list several things in no particular order. First one is the airport is working with Zeratech, which is a local software development company, to help with their parking system to improve it. Should be good for the airport as well as the users. It has the potential to make some money off of having. We're in the early stages right now, but should see it hopefully midsummer. General aviation season, as the weather gets nice, we've already seen more traffic at the airport. The smaller airplanes, we are knee deep in inspections. FAA, our annual FAA inspection starts next Wednesday. Will continue for 1 week to finalize with an on-site inspection. So we're very busy with that. There is a third flight that has been confirmed, starting on June 25th for SkyWest. It is on their schedule. And will run to about September 21st. Several projects going on. The 6-unit box hangar, which began last fall and kind of went dormant over the winter, is back up and running. We've got marking and sealing, which is a pretty big project on the runway and taxiways starting in the summertime. 6-unit T hangar, this is in the planning stages right now, should start in the fall. And lastly, Sun Country flight went out last month, 737 with 173 passengers. Looks to be successful, still running some numbers, but everything went as planned.
Lots of good news, and happy to hear that we'll have a third flight again this summer.
Sun Country flight, the one that goes to Laughlin, or? Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much. Next, you're on the agenda, Jacob. Do you have anything to report from the equalization in addition?
In addition to the agenda items, we are working through our village reduction calculations at this point, and we'll be getting that information to the school districts and townships and cities by the end of this week. We are still dealing with a few technical changes from the state in terms of how they like the report done. This goes back to a change that they made 3 years ago now in terms of what they're not for the state. Make up their mind whether it's included or not, because it does affect their school revenue calculations. So had a few technical issues with that, but it's not just our county, it's state that's having to kind of deal with that. So aside from that, things are going well. We're going to be starting our cradle studies, weather permitting. So yeah.
Thank you. Just a reminder for those speaking at the meetings tonight, this is being recorded and eventually shows up on a YouTube channel. Is that correct, Alex?
That is correct.
And so we've just respectfully asked for those speaking to approach the podium so that your voice gets picked up and brought over this for those of us who have difficulty hearing, or also those attending online, or who wish to look at the meeting afterwards. I see our esteemed treasurer, Lisa Madela, in attendance.
Yeah. So I wanted to report to you that this year we have had 320 parcels go into forfeiture, and that's for the 2024 taxes. And it's the base tax on it is about 552,000 320 parcels. So comparing to last year, I looked at last year's, which was for 2023 taxes. We had 316 parcels, And the total base tax was $433,297, so we're kind of in the same. We had 12 foreclosures this year as well, and that's 23 taxes. And starting tomorrow, Todd, the building inspector, and I will be going out to see the foreclosures between tomorrow and Friday. Then I have the land bank report. In April, we finalized our annual land bank report, and we met 5 times in the year of 2025. We had 39 parcels in our inventory, and 1 parcel was sold last year in the year 2024. Much of our land banks of 2025 efforts, we were focusing on finishing up our projects or revitalization and stabilization of projects, so we were kind of wrapping that up. We have some future demos that we getting funds coming along, we hope to take care of, but nothing definite yet. We also said goodbye to 2 longtime members from the authority, John Heisler and Jim Hino. They're kind of almost founding members since 2002 and 2010. So we bid them a farewell. And we welcomed Tim Gasbridge, County Township Supervisor. We welcome him to our authority along with Easton Lydola, who helps us all down for coming here. And we continue to work with Jack Radcliffe at the KEDA. He's a vital relationship with Jack. He's like one of our members. And without him helping me on a lot of this stuff, I would be really lost. So a lot of things goes out to Jack on that. And I do have a copy of the reports for the commissioners. This is also available on our website. It's already been posted. So it's kind of interesting to look from year to year what we've been doing and kind of a summary throughout the year of what we've been doing. That's pretty much all I have to report. Unless there's any questions.
Any questions for our treasurer? Thank you for the report, and
I'll pass these out if you want to share.
I encourage all residents to review the report on the website. It's a pretty dynamic impact on the local community.
That our inventory are for sale and looking for development, so definitely take a look at them.
Great opportunities. Thank you very much, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Our continuing with department heads, we have our building inspector, Todd LaRue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On the building department side, it's really ramped up now that road restrictions came off today. Average time the first hour to process a building permit is about 2 days. She had a backlog that's been a steady flow at the door. We're roughly already issued 100 building permits, and the electrical mechanicals are well over that. We on the addressing side, we've already created 28 new addresses. That's pretty much all I got on the building department side.
So thank you for that, Todd. 28 new addresses, is that for this calendar year?
This calendar year, yes.
Very good. That's we never used to have anywhere near those numbers, did we?
No.
Yeah.
The last few years, when Roy handed it over to me, we were down around 80 or 90, and well over 100 every year for the last 4 years.
Very good. Any questions for the building department? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have our county clerk here, Jennifer Lorenz. Nothing to report. Very good. Thank you. All right. And anything from the 5th floor?
I have nothing to report. Last month I did report that we are finally fully staffed. We did hire a finance manager and a deputy finance manager. And behind me is our deputy finance manager, Laura.
Welcome, Laura. All right. Are we missing anyone?
IT.
You're ever present, Alex, so we should ask if there's anything to report from our IT services.
Nothing to report. Pretty average month. No major fires as of today, and life is good. IT is good. We've got a little bit of grant money coming in to work on advanced system backups. You'll all be seeing more of that in the weeks to come. Nothing terribly interesting.
Thank you. All right. Under ongoing committees, our jail committees have been meeting. And we have a meeting coming up Thursday. Is that right? Faith Morrison is one of our volunteers on that particular committee. And would you care to make any comments, Faith?
Thanks for the opportunity. I didn't really think about making a jail report, but I am very much interested in seeing the follow-up. The jail committees were created last fall with the goal of addressing the issues that the public expressed why they voted no on the last jail millage. And all of the activities of the various committees for the last year are leading to, again, trying to sort out the best way to bring to Horton County a safe and effective jail that the public can support in a village. We've heard the committee reports from 2 out of 3 committees, I believe, this evening. We might hear the third one. And those preparatory works having been done, we're looking to the board to have the discussions about what their thoughts are in terms of moving forward with some sort of a process that will bring us a safe and effective jail to the county.
Thank you very much, Faith. With that, we'll move on to new business, item J. Item 1 is the Houghton County Planning Commission recommendation regarding a recreation plan update. Joel, are you who's speaking to that? Or is there anyone here representing Whoopiter? I don't believe so. Okay. The Planning Commission meets on a regular basis, and we partner with Western UP Planning and Development Region. They have developed a county recreation plan in the past, but it's time for that to be updated. You have to update things.
I'll get with Gary and see where's one.
But do we know when our current plan is up?
It has been up for about a year and a half. Our administrator began work on it, and there was some back and forth, and it was never filed properly. So right now, the Planning Commission made a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners to take action to continue partnering with Whoopiter.
Right.
Whoopiter completed our recreation plan nearly every year that I could dig into, except for the current one that we had troubles filing on our own. So the cost for Whoopiter to help us with the recreation plan is $4,200, which is within the budget.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen, to approve the agreement with Whoopiter for them to update and complete the recreation plan. The fee for that service is $4,200, which is a budgeted item.
Correct.
I think before, correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea, the surveys or something was a major problem, or that was the.
We didn't have public outreach or proper notice of the surveys. Most of the information was up to date as of 2023. So Whoopiter would have to go and update that to 2026 standards, which was just released at the beginning of the year.
And just for the record, I told Ben 2 years ago to hire Whoopiter, or at least recommend that he hire Whoopiter, but he tried. I mean, I give him credit for trying. And I know he did some. I mean, and remember, he did pull in the Marina grant, glass rehab grant, so I give him absolute credit, but again, everyone else, for the most part, hires Whooper to update their plans, and usually Whooper was the original one that wrote them as well. But anyway, I applaud the where we're going.
And the significance of that is you have to have an updated recreation plan on file with the state to be eligible for some grant funding. So a further discussion? All those in favor of approving this signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? And the motion carries. Item 2, we have our equalization director, Jacob Jerf, regarding the enhanced public access policy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So before you guys tonight, there's 3 examples of policies from Gratiot County, Oklahoma County, and Eaton County regarding so-called enhanced access policy. Tonight, I'd like to request formal adoption and reaffirmation of a Oklahoma County enhanced access to public records policy. Currently, Oakland County maintains and distributes GIS parcel assessment related data to outside parties, including private companies, developers, and other organizations. But we already have an established fee schedule in practice for providing this data. That fee structure is not yet been formally adopted, to my knowledge, under an enhanced access policy that we can locate. This was originally legislation that was passed at a state level in the early 2000s, so in all likelihood, there's probably some record somewhere of us doing this, but Paige and I kind of dug through records in the attic and are unable to locate when this might have been adopted. Adopting and reaffirming this policy would accomplish a few important things for the county. First, it provides a clear legal framework for the county to charge reasonable fees for value-added access to our GIS and public record data. This is distinct from standard requests under the Freedom of Information Act, which applies to traditional public record requests, but does not fully address bulk data, digital data sets, or ongoing access to services. Second, it formalizes and standardizes our existing practices. Right now, we are already providing this data and charging fees, but adoption and reaffirmation of this policy ensures transparency, consistency, and legality in how those fees are applied. Third, it helps the county recover costs associated with maintaining, updating, and distributing GIS data in particular. This includes staff time, software, vendor services, and infrastructure, particularly as we continue working with our new GIS service provider to improve data accuracy and accessibility. Lastly, this policy aligns Fulton County with best practices used by many counties across Michigan that provide digital data and parcel mapping data to external users. To be clear, this policy does not restrict public access to records under FOIA. Individuals may still request records in the traditional manner. This policy simply governs enhanced access such as bulk data sets, digital GIS layers, and subscription style access, which go beyond standard record requests. Are there any questions that go on?
Jacob, actually, in the 2 samples you provided, they don't include fees. Are these fees in line with other counties? I guess number 1, and then number 2, like you say, $500 for assessment roll. Was that assessment roll for the whole county or just by individual jurisdiction?
So the assessment roll that's referred to in the fee schedule is for the entire county, and we are actually.
I could get the entire assessment roll for the whole county. Doesn't that sound cheap?
Well, we are significantly cheaper than, say, our neighbors to the north. They charge $12.50 for the same data. I've kept in place the fee schedule that was in place with my predecessor and probably Mr. Cartman before her. If there is the desire to, say, increase the fees or look at changing that, I would ask that we wait until 2027, just given that a few entities have
It
requested.
just seems very reasonable to me, just if I can get the whole assessment roll for the county.
Yep, and there's regularly like large companies all the way down to, you know, local appraisers and realtors and real estate companies that will request this data. So again, we've already, you know, several requests for 2026's data that, you know, are in the works or have been paid for. So if there is a desire to, you know, look at changing or increasing that fee, I would ask that we wait until 2027. Basically tonight, With your blessing, I'd like to basically model Fulton County's enhanced access policy after one of the examples. Gratiot County's is the most recent. Then Eaton County is basically just adopting the MCL that, is in state law. So, there's a variety of options, but with your blessing, we would basically just take the form that's there and just insert Fulton County and use that as our policy.
I guess, may I ask one more question? Just later in the meeting, we have an appeal on a FOIA request, which appears to be a request for assessment roll information. And I don't really, I haven't followed the details on it, but why wouldn't they just use this access here then?
Essentially, the requester is trying to kind of do an end run around the fee base for this by requesting it under FOIA. He's made this request not only of Fulton County, but of virtually every county in the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
And when you have entities that regularly pay for it annually, it's in theory, I guess, unfair to provide it to an individual just because he cites FOIA in his request.
Thank you. I just appreciate the background on it. Thank you.
What percent of people requesting stuff in paper format?
There's still a couple of appraisers from this area that ask for paper copies, and that's, obviously a little separate or a little bit different than the digital form with it. I believe we charge 7 or 10 cents a page for hard copy. And again, that's basically just covering our costs of paper and ink. It's not necessarily making money off of the printed product. The file itself is basically, it takes all of the relevant fields, so like legal description, address, parcel number, owner name, square footages, assessed value, taxable value, and presents it in a format that is useful for their purposes. Each company and individual kind of uses it a little bit differently, but clearly we probably have, I would say, between 10 and 15 individuals and entities requesting this data every year.
And right now, we're not raising any rates above what you've been charging historically. You haven't had it in a policy form.
Yep.
These have been in place for years and years.
So I'll make a motion then. We thank you for the research, I guess, rather impressive. And I'll make a motion that we accept as recommended by Jacob, the data sharing agreement with the rates as presented, with the anticipation in the future, you will reassess the fees if needed.
I'll support.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen to adopt the policy as proposed by our equalization director. We're in discussion. Jacob, you have a comment?
One point of clarification. So it's kind of a two-part thing. Basically, adopting the fee schedule and the data sharing agreement, but then also the enhanced access policy. So among the three that are in the packet, is there one that you all would prefer to see in place for Holding? Or do you want to leave that up to me and the admin team on the floor?
As part of the discussion, I'd recommend going with the recommendation from our qualified professionals there in the equalization department.
Okay.
But that's, I don't know if you care to revise your motion or.
Sure. I'll revise that to include you will present I think we should come back and adopt that policy too.
Okay.
I mean, because it still has to be our policy.
Yeah. So you're leaving it to me then to decide which county to model it after? I would say Gratiot County as of now, we essentially would just be taking what they have written and
I think you got to bring that back for us to adopt at the next meeting.
Okay.
I mean, we can adopt the fee and your data sharing agreement, but if you're going to add, if you're going to amend it, come up with a new policy, I would bring it back for the next meeting.
Okay. I'll be here for a truth and taxation hearing anyway, so
But the motion in front of us is the data sharing agreement and the fees. And then direct you to come up with a new policy for the next meeting. That's the motion.
And I still support.
All right, so the revised motion is to adopt the fee schedule and the data sharing policy. That's it, correct?
Yes.
Are we okay with that, Madam Clerk? Okay. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you.
Item 3 is regarding Canal View. There's split application. They're in the they have a transaction underway. Commissioner Jensen or?
Thank you, Chairman. I haven't checked county email today because I've been on the road all day. Did we ever hear from the attorney?
I did not receive a response from Mr. Zappa.
Okay. And aside from that, I did hear from Ben Larson from Moyle today, who said that the Hancock assessor also needs more time. So I would like to suggest that we table this until our June meeting.
We'll move that to unfinished business.
Okay.
Jennifer, we're okay just to move on then, right? Okay. Very good. Item 4, that's the vehicle bids for the building department. We have 2 sealed bids. We open them now, right?
Yes.
The first bid is received from Kavanaugh Chevy. This is for a 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 LT. And the bottom line is $54,837. This is with a 100,000 mile, 7-year, $100 disappearing deductible. And then for the truck only, the proposal is for $50,014. I'll open the second bid. Should get a regular letter opener. This is received from Copper Country Ford. And this is for a XLT Super Crew truck. I assume that's a 1/2 ton. And it is in the amount of, including everything, $49,161. I don't believe this includes a warranty. They also note that if you wanted a strobe light, white and amber, that would be an additional $885.73. And if you wanted a T cover, that would be an additional $420. Yes, thank you. That is an F-150 2026. You can tell I don't buy many cars. All right. There's that.
We normally get a warrant, extend the warranty on a brand new vehicle, or is that, there is a warranty, obviously, that seems.
That's a fair question. I don't know the answer to that, Joel.
No, didn't take any warranties on the vehicles.
So that, and Keweenaw Chevrolet is with their cover and light is 50,014, and Upper Country Ford is gonna be.
So the Keweenaw Chevrolet had a strobe light on it?
Yes.
That's what you saw?
The add-on for Copper Country Ford is $50,466, and Keweenaw Chevrolet with the light and cover is $50,014. So Keweenaw Chevrolet is about $450 less. So I would make that motion that we proceed with the truck only from Keweenaw Chevrolet for a price not to exceed $50,014 with no extended warranty.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Commissioner Karen and supported by Commissioner Anderson to accept the proposal from Keweenaw Chevrolet for the truck only, not to include the warranty. And did you get that number, Jennifer?
Yes.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? We might not need to, but let's do a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Kiernan.
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Chairman Tickenick.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Commissioner Briggs.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on then to item number 5, Houghton County Fair Board. Glenn, do you want to speak to that? Or?
Yeah, well, again, as you know, I mean, all excess revenues that the fair has ever generated, and there's been years like COVID where they did not have a fair, always goes back into the building capital and is not used for operations. And the county has historically for decades supported it. Remember, for many years, the county paid, I think, all the insurance. And then the county at the end was paying half the insurance, if you remember, for the fair.
Yes.
And then, and just remind you, Gogebic County, Dickinson County, the counties operate the fair. In other words, the county board is in charge of operating the day-to-day operation of the fair. But we have certainly a nonprofit. On the same time, I think you all realize payroll is still run through the county payroll for the employees that, the part-time employees that they do have. And probably in at least, I don't know if any of the workers, does any workers' comp go through there, Chelsea? Probably not. They have their own policies. But anyway, so the county has always had a close relationship with the fair. And And again, it's still the #1 event in Houghton County as far as a draw. I mean, they get 25 to 30,000 people. Most of them are from Houghton County. We get a little bit from Onondaga and Berger County. And not only is the rides, but of course, we make every effort, the Fair Board makes every effort to do all the animals. And, in some years it's harder, easier than others. Like horses last year were hard to find people with horses that would display, but you have the animals, you have the pigs, you have the cows. And then we also have the auction, live auction for the junior 4-H people that sell their animals for food, and that money goes back to the junior farmers and the 4-H program. So I guess Monley Point, we've been historically supporting it. I guess the flip side, if we ever were to cease, it wouldn't then be called the Houghton County Fair. It would be called, Coca-Cola Fair or Spirus Fair or Portage Health Fair, because somebody would come in and take the naming rights for it. And I think, people love the fair, so I think it's a money well invested. And again, with the history of the county and the Fair Board intertwined for many, many years, decades, I certainly would hope that we would again approve that, and it is in the budget. So I guess with that, I'll make a motion that we authorize the $10,000 appropriation that's been budgeted for the Houghton County Fair.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen, to approve issuance of the $10,000 appropriation in support of the Houghton County Fair. Is there further discussion? I did want to note that I know myself and others appreciate the fact that it's still referred to as a county fair. And it's indicative really of years gone by when Houghton County was a much more dynamic agricultural community. And never say never, because you'll notice that some of our dormant farms are slowly coming back to life, especially with our proliferation of farmers markets in the community, and also the livestock sale that still occurs. It's part of our culture up here. It wasn't always just about recreation or mining. Agriculture played a big part, and some of us were lucky enough to be raised on active farms and can vividly recall that. So, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. We're moving on to the item number 6, which is the extended warranty on the Houghton County vehicle. Now, that has to do with which vehicle, Chelsea?
This is the new Houghton County Chevy Equinox that was recently purchased. Tom Bingham and I went to Q and Chevy, and with the use we have on this vehicle, we are asking for support to add extended coverage. We were told that it would be cheaper to do at this time since it has low miles than in the future when the warranty expires.
And this recommended warranty is will cost $4,023. That's good for 84 months or 100,000 miles.
And this is a new vehicle currently?
This is a vehicle we have in our fleet.
That's brand new.
Yes.
So it would come with 30,000 miles and whatever, 4 or 5 years, right? Or whatever it has currently. And kind of following that, we didn't do the extended warranty on the pickup truck.
But did we do that because Ford didn't put an extended?
Well, because we haven't done it before.
I just feel with the cost of vehicles today and repairing them, I think it's prudent to get the extended warranties today. It's ridiculous what it's costing for every little thing that you have to buy for a car today.
What is the current warranty on that vehicle?
I believe it's a 5-year warranty for 30,000 miles.
100,000?
30,000.
Yeah, cars are less.
The only difference in the comment about the building department not having extended warranties as opposed to this general use vehicle that would be used by all courthouse workers. The level of use, I don't know if it really equates, but but I certainly agree with that in this case, for this particular warranty, I think it's warranted. It seems like whenever something needs to be addressed with a vehicle these days, if you pull it into the garage, on average, it's going to cost you about $1,000. So no matter what it is that you're having repaired or replaced. And then these days, nothing gets repaired, it's always replaced. So it's probably a prudent expenditure, especially since it's relatively new yet.
How many miles on average put on?
It's really hard to estimate just based on our current Equinox, the 2018, but I would say at least 12,000 miles per year. I purchased this vehicle because we have often conflicts with two people needing the car at the same time, which has resulted in personal use. So I would believe we could easily do 30,000 miles amongst the two Equinoxes the county owns.
It's a real cost savings to have a county vehicle loaned out for a meeting in Marquette or Delta County or in some cases downstate, as opposed to paying mileage to whatever employee or staff member is using it.
Talk me into it. I would make a motion, on the logic that there are many drivers.
Mhm.
So I'll make a motion, we approve the $4,023, which gets us an 84-month, 100,000 mile.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Britz to approve the warranty package from Kivana Chevrolet, Pack 4 in your, which is $4,023, bumper to bumper. 84-month, 100,000 miles with a $100 disappearing deductible. Further discussion? Is this budgeted?
It is not specifically budgeted, but it does fall within top meeting's budget.
All right. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item 7, we're getting a lot of mileage out of our equalization director tonight. This is to set the truth and taxation date for the regular June meeting. Anything?
So the truth and taxation hearing is a part of our annually scheduled budget process. It allows the collect more in revenue than it did in prior years. State law printed it at what was collected last year. Right, so there would be an additional military like the county's operating revenue if this year didn't occur. There's other ways to comply with the act, but it's been a standard part of the county practice for this year.
Okay, so what action do you?
Basically just agreeing to set the hearing for next month's regular.
So moved.
I'll support.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen to set the next truth and taxation hearing for the June 2026 Board of Commissioners meeting. Do we need a specific date on that? I'm showing that that would be June 9th. All right, further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
Item 8 is the Marquette Community Corrections. This is, do we have anyone here to speak to it?
How does that mean?
Right, and we covered it in our work session yesterday, so basically what the Marquette County is has an arrangement with Delta, no, not Delta, Dickinson and Alger County. They are in discussions with bringing in Iron County, and this is strongly it's a their organization assists the courts in pretrial work. Is that correct, Commissioner Briggs?
Yes.
And this is strongly endorsed and supported by our district court and circuit court. And this would actually this does not cost the county anything.
No cost to Houghton County. It's all being held to a grant that Marquette has picked up and is expanding.
Yes. And going forward, the representative from Marquette Community Corrections is, their office is centered in Marquette, but they realized that if they were to expand up here and include Houghton, our courts, that would automatically include Keweenaw and Baraga counties. And it's a great tool that our judges use in pretrial reviews and information. They operate remotely so that for those that they're doing the background work on, in some cases they may be, incarcerated here, or it's pretrial, so they may be bonded out. But the bottom line is that it speeds up the whole process and also makes it much more effective for our judges to conduct the trials. Am I missing anything?
And also, I believe that it allows more, they have better contact and communication with some rehab places. And
Yes.
right now we don't have access to downstate and stuff. And it's been from what I sat in on 2 of the presentations on it, and everything I heard and talked to Judge Davidsville about, it would really help Houghton County and the court system here to move forward with that.
Yes, and we were alerted to this by a new court worker, Andrea Johnson.
Yes.
Who really followed up on this and once again strongly recommended. Yesterday's work session ran for 3 hours, and our circuit court judge sat there for the entire time just so she could advocate or throw her support behind this. So that speaks volumes. Commissioner Jensen, anything to add? You were there as well.
Yeah, no, I think you covered it.
All right. So what we're being asked to do is to pass a motion to join the Marquette Community Corrections Organization.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Motion made by Commissioner Britz, supported by Commissioner Jensen, to move forward with joining the Marquette Community Corrections pretrial system.
There is one other thing we should add, that one I believe commissioner will sit in on the board of that group also. from Houghton County.
Very good point. Very good point. Yes, Houghton County will be represented on their board. Is there further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 9 is a FOIA appeal. This is subject to attorney-client privilege. You have that information in your packet. It is not available at this time to the public. In that, you'll see the communication from our county's consulting attorney on this.
I'll make a motion, we adopt resolution 2609. Basically denying FOIA request. It is denying FOIA.
I'll support.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen to adopt resolution, what is it, 26?
2609, at least that's what's on it.
26-09. Further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson. Yes. Chairman Kigman.
Yes.
Commissioner Karen.
Yes.
Commissioner Briggs.
Yes.
Item 10 is the Canal View appraisal update. We've received the appraisal some days ago, and commissioners, that's been available to all the commissioners to review. Carry on with discussion here.
Mr. Chairman, would it be appropriate for Adam to maybe speak to that, to compare to, or just to give us your kind of, assuming you know more detail on it, your thoughts on it, is that permissible, Mr. Chairman?
By all means.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I did send it to you on April 27th, so everyone should have time to review that. It's a very long appraisal, I know it's like 150 some pages. I am not an appraiser. The company that was used is called Health Trust. After speaking with the team at Health Trust, I learned a lot. Come to find out that a nursing home facility isn't really appraised off of the building, the contents, the upgrades, the windows, roof, done any improvements. It's pretty much based off of beds. So I think Commissioner Anderson, you were correct when you said, you know, beds worth about $100,000, 105,000, and that's really what the appraisal was based off of the bed. So the non-developed beds we have in place right now is 145 beds. So the appraised value of Canal View at 14.4 million is roughly $100,000 per bed. That's available, and that's how they came up with that number. I asked them about the windows, so we've got a lot of upgrades to the facility. We wouldn't be able to do those upgrades without the community support, without the millage. We have new roof, new windows, the new water main, boiler upgrades, new equipment, new resident furniture in the rooms, and we wouldn't be able to do those things without the millage. And so, but you don't get any value out of that, really, from an appraised value for a nursing home. You basically said it's based off of financial information compared to other properties that are similar. And I'm not an appraiser, but that's where the money came from. I can tell you at $14.4 million, the appraisal, if it was sold for that, the state would still probably recapture an amount of $5 to $7 million. To recapture presentation like John Lynch and convention collaboration. So anywhere between $5 and $7 million, he estimated that at, and obviously it would have to be some work done to get an actual number for that. Our pension liability, at the end of fiscal year 25, our audit was $3 million for that liability. And then our PTO liability estimated in the fiscal year 25 was $600,000. So that will leave you at a net of $4.8 million.
What was the 600,000 liability?
The PTO liability.
Oh, yeah, I paid 10. Okay, thank you.
So that would be a net estimated about $4.8 million that we left after the sale. an estimated amount. There are some other small liabilities, any contracted vendors, any lease agreements, that would still have to be taken care of as well. There are smaller liabilities, but those would have to be taken off. The sale price, so if it's sold for working equipment.
But even on that, on the pension liability, if you paid off the, you know, the 2.9 million or 3 million pension liability today, that still wouldn't get the county off the hook in the event that was not sufficient. Is that accurate?
That's completely accurate.
So I mean, 10 years from now, we may still get a bill made, you know, the market condition saying the county still would owe something. So I mean, my point is we would want, if that happened, you'd want to put a reserve, county would want to put a reserve somewhere in, you know, for the ability to pay that off if the return on investment isn't sufficient to pay off.
That's absolutely correct. So
And then-
over the last 7 years, the average pension payment that we contribute to the pension to get it to all the way to 100% funded was about $1.1 million every year on average.
And
over
then
the last 7 years.
my other question would be on the health insurance side. If it was sold tomorrow and a new owner took over and they, obviously any employees would be on their new insurance plan, health insurance plan. Would our insurance, would we still have a liability on the experience modification on the current health insurance? Do you know?
That I'm not sure of, but I would think that there would be a date set.
Yeah, I have that question in my mind.
I think there would be a date set, any claims up into that date would have to be the liability.
And then we've had this before, but if sold, let's just say it's sold for 14.4 million current assessment. And we're licensed at least, you know, we used to be licensed for 197 beds. What would happen to the difference between 145 and 197 on the license? Would the new owner have the ability to go up to 197 with the license we have?
Yes, we're still licensed at 197 bed facility, so they would be purchasing 197 bed facility.
And then why wouldn't the appraisal not, I recognize why not, but why wouldn't this appraisal be scheduled on the number of licensed beds?
They told me just occupancy.
Yeah, I know, I understand that, but I mean, if I'm an investor, I'm just thinking myself, if I could buy this for 14 million, knowing I had another 50 beds included, to me, that's a bargain. I mean, now again, it's not, I realize the market is not such that you can immediately fill up those beds, even in Fulton County, and then so I think, I mean, that's just my point, I guess, if it would give somebody an opportunity to make more money quickly, if they could figure out a way to fill the beds.
Correct.
At our expense, and then two, that your point is early on is extremely, all the investment that the taxpayers have made on capital on that facility would be written off. I mean, that's, you know, wouldn't, the new owner would get the benefit
They would reap
of
the
the investment. Now, we all know whether you or other administrators have kept that facility, you know, excellent capital condition, and the additions and the memory care additions and, you know, and you know, all the nursing homes I've been in the UP, not that I've been to all of them, you know, certainly for capital, you know, ours is as nice as anyone's, and because the taxpayers have paid for it. But anyway, those are just my observations, and it just seemed to me that out of this discussion, if you factor in some additional reserves for the pension obligation on top of the what's being, you know, actuarially determined. And I think the county would have to put $1 million or $2 million in, you know, reserves for future liability on that pension, just to protect the county. You know, your net for the county would be, I mean, you know, $1 million to $2 million. Again, depending on the depreciation clawback that the state has. And again, Moran said it could be up to 7.3 million. And until you sell it, you would never know exactly how much that would have to be clawed back.
Correct.
I mean, my point is, I guess, you know, the value to the county with giving up such a valuable asset that we've already have a major investment in and sell it for less than what we have invested in it. And two, as you point out, and I think it's completely accurate, a new owner certainly would reduce staff somewhat. just because you are subsidized by taxpayers as far as the operation and the capital. And so you got the employment angle for the county as well, you know, as far as an economic engine. But I appreciate, I mean, I thought it was a great appraisal. I just thought they would praise it more based on the license availability, not the occupants currently. I guess that's my only comment.
Well, that'd be the risk that a new purchaser would be taking as well, right? So I mean, the risk of that, are we gonna be able to fill it to 197 beds? We did provide a lot of data to help us. We did show them that, you know, from our lowest point, 2023 census wise, you know, going up, you know, 23 over the last 3 years, that it's growing, it's just slow growth. And it's gonna take time for that to turn around. One other thing I can add is I did reach out to Jacob, and he was able to provide what the tax revenue would be if it was sold. So I know that came up in discussion as well. Well, if it's sold for $14.4 million, the estimated tax revenue would be $435,739 per year.
Say that again, 450 what?
No, $435,739 per year of tax revenue that would be generated from the county if it was sold for $14.4 million. That doesn't even cover a payroll of what we do right now.
And Adam, and if I may ask, Adam or also Jacob, is that the gross amount? I mean, or that wouldn't be revenue received at Houghton County, that would be distributed through Houghton.
Yeah, I believe that figure would be including like the county, the schools, the city.
The city and everything.
One
So
other caveat with that too is often, especially with businesses,
so
it doesn't assess to be quite as high as the actual sale
well,
price.
bottom line, I guess, using that $435,000 figure, the actual revenue received and utilized right here in Houghton County operations would be a much smaller fraction of that.
Certainly. And correct me if I'm wrong too, they can request to have a reduced tax if it was purchased. I know that happens. So let's just say that they had asked for a reduced tax for the first 10 years of operations. What's tax revenue that they generate?
But it is a factor, and I appreciate the calculation.
I'm glad that research was done.
And I guess, you know, I mean, even if we netted 2 to 3 million out of that transaction, separate from the employment, separate from the investment we already have, and separate from, you know, I guess the care of the reason we're in the business is to give quality of care to the people of Houghton County, and you know, what a great you know, care that the commissioners in the past have felt that we should own it. And I'm sure that wasn't done lightly when it was originally done. And I think we've said there's only there's 37 in the state that actually have villages that support their own nursing homes in an effort to get quality care for your elderly, basically, in the state. But I guess going back to my point, even if we raise 2-3 million and then minus the economics and minus the jobs and perhaps the care issue, you know, 2 to 3 million on a jail of 30 million, or even if it's 28 million or 32 million, is a down payment, but it's not gonna buy you a jail. And that's a tough one. But and then the other one, I think we all recognize politically, just by the fact that taxpayers have consistently voted the millage renewal since what, 1960?
I can go back as far as 1982.
1982, so at least the 1980s. And it's the most popular, as far as a vote count, the most popular thing the county does as far as millage. And you know, to me, that has to be weighed into the whole discussion, that if our taxpayers are willing and have been funding it at a very high percentage of voting, I guess if it was really a close vote, you know, a few hundred votes every time it's up for renewal, one could argue, well, that's maybe getting to a point where it doesn't have as much broad support. But And again, I don't want to minimize $2-3 million of funds, but, and then the other one, which is not, it should be at least raised, is any dollars that are still in the millage fund cannot be spent on a jail fund. I don't know how that would be reimbursed to the taxpayers, not legally.
I have some information
But-
on that I can share with you.
Please do, but we wouldn't be able to grab that and say, we're gonna take that and give it to the jail at any time. And then the non-millage cash, which I assume would be some on the day of closing, even though you'd have to pay all your bills. Because that was Medicaid, at least substantially Medicaid funded, even the cash balance. I'm not sure we could grab that and put it in the jail either, but maybe you have a little more comment on those two questions.
Yes, absolutely. So I have a packet that I can share with commissioners. When it comes to what's left at the end of the day, Medicare, Medicaid, the millage, that all has to be looked at and addressed. What has to happen is a final cost report would have to be done if it was sold. And that it has to be done in a certain amount of time, and then whatever is left at the end of the day, after all those other liabilities are paid, on top of the liabilities that I mentioned, and that's what we're going to be left at the end of the day.
One question I have, again, impressed with how, I guess, detailed it is and the volume of it. So are we on page 79, it shows us operating at a loss? Is that what goes into that, or what, I don't have it in front of me, but that's my question, I guess. Doing that now, I don't have it, but just page 79. And I can take a look at that, I know it's pretty.
I can speak to the last one. So the data that we have going back to 1982 that we have back. I can say that probably 12 years out of all those years, actually only that's 12 years, that's only 12 years that we turn a profit. So the majority of the years we are operating at a loss. Since 1982. It's only been 12 years since 1982 where there was actually, a profit. But we're not for profit, right? We're not for profit. A lot of that goes into our Medicaid rate and how the Medicaid rate is set. And I'm sure you're very well versed in cost reporting. And when it comes down to cost reporting, it's really kind of a system that Michigan is only one of a very few states left that has a cost reporting system. So the more you spend, the more expenses you have, your Medicaid rate goes up. How does that make sense, right? But at the end of the day, while you might have and incur larger expenses, it's actually in turn helping you for the next fiscal year with your cost report and your Medicaid rate. I know the state's talked about changing that system to a PDPM model called Medicare. They have not yet come up with a plan on how they're going to do that. And that can change things, drastically. But until that day comes, we're still going to be based on the cost reporting, cost-based reimbursement system.
For example, fiscal year 24, they had revenue of 21.6 million and expenses of 26.1 million. And then, of course, the millage, not only is millage used for capital, but it is used for operation.
Right.
And has been historically.
Yes.
Not all of it has gone to capital. Anyway, just as an example, and of course, that's why you point out that if I bought this tomorrow at 14 million, I'm going to make sure cash flows immediately. And how they're going to do that? Well, one, try to get the census up, but then two is get rid of the number of employees. I mean, it's just reality to the degree that they can. But,
You can't really get rid of employees and add census.
I know, I understand.
You add census, you're gonna add the bottom line, right? So say that a new owner get rid of it, if a new owner comes in, they're for profit, you're gonna want to fill the beds because there's more profit in full beds.
And I think we all recognize, we'd love to be here having a discussion, but it was a full 197 bed occupancy, because that's what it's designed for. And in that case, it would have more value.
Well, that day is coming. I mentioned before, statistics prove that The silver tsunami is what they're calling it. It's coming, right? That wave is coming. There's gonna
Why are you
be a
looking at
need
me?
Look at me, right? So that wave is coming and, you know, there's gonna be a need for long-term care. There's gonna be a need for those beds. But the one thing we need is staff. And when I talk about staff, I talk about CNAs and nurses. Michigan Tech took over from the 90s program. We're graduating 6 nurses this year. 6. We have 2 hospital systems. We have 4 nursing homes. We have an assisted living. We have home health. And that's if they stay in this area. And that's, you know, so the numbers have gone down. Now, they've had 120 applicants for their program. The program has to grow, and it's gonna grow, but they also need staff. They need people to teach these classes. So is it gonna come full circle? I hope so. I'm hopeful that will.
I myself, and I really enjoyed my tenure representing the board of commissioners during my years working with you, Adam. But one thing that we can attest to for sure, one certainty, is that there has been a steady increase in the census count since our worst days during COVID. And that quality of care was never marginalized. In fact, you know, your care ratings continue to climb during that whole struggle. Nationwide and even in Michigan, we had county facilities that had to close during COVID. Houghton County was not one of them, never came close. And that's because of the expertise of care and also the administration in that facility. You know, Houghton County, I think, is over the years, and it's not unusual for other counties as well. It seems like we are charged with protection in 3 different areas. One is law enforcement to keep our communities safe. The other one is the care of our elderly. And only through this mechanism can the people, the voters of Houghton County, maintain control over and guarantee the future care of our treasured, you know, elderly folks or those that are incapacitated. You won't have that control with a private for-profit or even a bigger nonprofit organization. Their boards are located elsewhere, and their financial goals are always going to be different from a locally community-based facility like this. The other area that we are entering into a realm in for care is the care and protection of the quality of our environment. Not to go off topic, I'm just saying there's kind of a 3-legged stool here. It's law enforcement, it's care of our elderly, but also our environment. And I think you'll see that's something that the community has been dealing with the advent of recycling and all that. But not to get off on that tangent, but it's just, this is one of our responsibilities as a community. That's the way many of us interpret it. And but from the perspective of people who write checks every year to pay taxes, there's been the millage renewals on this has always been overwhelming. I mean, upwards of over 60%. That's by many measures a landslide. I feel that the voters have, you know, the people who actually show up and vote and pay taxes, there's no question in my mind that they support the continued ownership of the medical care facility in operation by the county. So that is good to know just where we stand as far as the overall value. But you know, there are a lot of strings attached. You know, if somebody were to buy it, like you say, the net gain from an economic standpoint is negligible. But more importantly, I think, is the community's opinion and of whether or not the canal view should be retained by Houghton County. And I think that's been proven that they want us to stay in the business of caring for our elderly and incapacitated. The other thing that seems, that's notable is that, years ago, when someone was relegated to the medical care facility, it was, well, it's the end of the road. It's the last roundup. How many people are discharged from medical care now and sent home these days? It's an ever-growing number. The quality of service hasn't stayed dormant. It's stayed current with best practices in the medical field these days. The rehabilitation services that are provided there and also have access to in other points in the community. It just continues to set the pace for quality of care here. So it's not just an emotional or sentimental thing. I think it's also good from the standpoint of using your intellect to make sure that we have access to the best health care and elder care.
And maybe just two more questions. Were we a star or rated 5 at one point in time?
Yes.
And that's the high, 5 is the highest, right?
5 is the highest.
And we were what before this? 3 then, obviously?
3.
Now
And we actually dropped down to even a 2-star at one point. It's very inconsistent. There's 3 different categories the star rating is made. One comes from your surveys, the other one comes from your staffing levels, and the other one comes from quality. Each one of those is rated on a 5-star factor. And it's a point system. The more points you get, the worse you are. So it's not like basketball. More points you get, you're gonna win the game. No, you want to have low points, you want to have good quality, you want to have appropriate staffing, and you want to move up in the star rating. We recently moved into the 4-star spot. However, there's only 10% of all nursing homes in Michigan will reach that 5-star spot because there's only so many spots available. So even though even if you met the standards for a 5-star facility, you may not move into a 5-star facility spot because there's not a spot available.
And just to follow up on the millage, out of the medical care facility, 37 medical care facilities in Michigan, how many of those have countywide millages? All of them, some of them?
Several of them.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, no, not all of them. We are not the highest. There's a county that has over a $6 million millage. I don't know what their millage rate is, but they collect over $6 million from their millage. There's some that collect over 4. They're not the highest. And we're trying to reduce ours, and we have quite a bit.
And you have, yes.
Go around in the real.
Well, where are we? Are we at a point where we're going to make a decision on this for the community? We've made a decision on the marina. We've made a decision on the transfer station. We've established the fact that the best location for our future jail construction is up on Sharon Avenue. The only thing remaining is to make a determination on what we're going to do with the medical care facility.
I guess I'd like to, at this point, the folks that have reached out to me outside of board meetings have all been, I have not had one person tell me, sell it. Everybody said, do not sell that. I, as a taxpayer, have paid taxes most of my life to assist that. I don't want to see that get thrown away, my time and other people's time and money. I think it's time to close the door on this, and I guess I'd like to make a motion that we do not offer a canal view for sale.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Britz, supported by Commissioner Anderson, to not allow the canal view facility to be offered for sale.
And I guess my only comment on more of a discussion item, if I may, is as you pointed out, the taxpayers have wanted to support elder care in this county very strong, at least since 1982 and perhaps before. Obviously, the county owning it at least since the 50s or longer, would indicate that other boards have done the same with support of the public. And then it shouldn't be either or, because, God only knows we need a jail and we need more spaces than 28 cells, because we have more than 28 criminals in the whole county. And we've capped our amount of criminals since 1963 to 28. And I realize we go over a little bit 30, 32 when it's overcrowded, but there's two different issues. One is taking care of our elderly and disabled, and two is taking care of trying to find housing for our criminals in Houghton County, which taxpayers are reluctant to fund, but they certainly have not been reluctant to fund elderly care. But they're two distinct issues. And I think to say that we would sell our elderly out for 2 to 3 million, to go for a very important purpose, which is a new jail, still would defeat the purpose of that discussion. And it wouldn't be, I don't think would honor the commissioners before us, and would honor the will of the taxpayers who have, like you said, overwhelmingly supported the Canal View since at least 82 and perhaps since the inception of it. So, but on the other hand, I don't know how we get the taxpayers to want to support a jail. That's the other $30 million question.
I guess I go with Len is echoing. I'm not saying that it's a great idea to sell it. I kind of disagree with the numbers. I think there'd be more left in the bag if we were to look at it a little harder. I plan on doing that. And the ultimate answer is the people of Houghton County vote no on a jail. What are we going to do? This will be the 5th. We're going to keep going back to them. And we're going to refine insanity. We have to, I'm glad there's some discussion, I think, hopefully on maybe another option of not taxing people. Maybe we'll hear about that. Maybe we won't. What are we going to do? Len and Gretchen have it on record of not wanting to sell. That's fine. I respect that. I know Roy and Tom didn't want the appraisal done, so clearly don't want to sell it. I'm not saying I do. I just want to keep digging in deeper. I think the numbers, there's going to be more left than there is. And we have to say, if we want a jail, what other options do we have? That's the most saleable, and I think to say there's a couple $1 million left over, I would disagree. Clearly, we're going on the road towards the millage in November. That's fine. People pass the new jail. They spoke. That's fine. I respect that, and we got to figure it out. What if they don't? We're going to go. How many times we go back to the people with the same game plan? It's getting refined now, but I just feel like, again, I heard there's other things that potentially to work on not taxing people for a jail, because as a conservative, I don't want to tax people. And I think if we have a way of funding a jail and paying for a jail without reaching into the taxpayers of Houghton County's pockets, that's my first obligation. And I would agree with what Tom and Glenn, and I think everyone said, people of Houghton County support Canal View, and I have nothing, like Adam, good job running it. The staff is there great. It's people are well taken care of. I have no, I'm with Adam. I'd like to see our number at 197, but we're not there, and we're getting there. I'd like to see us get us there sooner. But on the flip side, I feel like people of Houghton County know very little about Canal View, Houghton County. And I think it shows the goodness of people of Houghton County by approving that millage every year, because they have a heart and say, we're going to take care of our elders. So do I. My parents are 88 years old, could be in a nursing home tomorrow. And if they go to Canal View, Houghton County, they will get well care. They'll get great care. And I won't have to, I want them there. They don't want to be there, but they have to be. It's a wonderful place. And I'm not here to say it's not a wonderful place. The staff, everything is there, but I think we have to look at what are we going to do? And I think this is the one thing that, I'm not saying I would vote to sell it tomorrow, but I think keep digging deeper. I'm not, I want to look more into the numbers that we've been talking about. And everyone got the email. Some people are, I got an anonymous letter. They wanted some questions answered. So clearly,
good question.
Clearly the path is to not sell it. That's fine. I'm not saying I vote to sell it tonight, but I put it back to the board. We took an oath to the Constitution, and our priorities, the Houghton County is a jail over a nursing home. We choose to run a nursing home. The state tells us you must run a jail, correct? That's, I'm not trying to.
Well, it's not part of the Constitution, but it is a mandate, yes.
I think we told Lansing we're not having a jail. I think we might have some visitors and saying, you're gonna have a jail. And if we said we're gonna sell a nursing home, I think they.
Well, I'm gonna call a vote on this thing because, the vote is to complete the task that we took on to respond to questions that came from in the community to say, do you, the county of Houghton, have assets that you could liquidate in support of construction of a jail? What we're doing is we're just accomplishing that task. We've reviewed the marina, we've reviewed the transfer station, and now medical care. The bottom line is what we're saying is that, you know, to answer these questions about the future of the jail effort and all that, all we're doing is we're determining that the answer doesn't lie over at Canal View. And everything else is open. I mean, you know, the community has linked arms to a certain degree on future efforts with the jail. And in a community as dynamic as Houghton County, the answers are out there. And I think we all working together, we're going to crack the code. We will be building a new jail. We don't know exactly how yet or when, but that lies in our future. That much is certain. But I think it's also been determined that it's best that we not sell Canal View nursing facility.
It's fair to the staff and employees and the public that we give them an answer. This has been going on since November.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to give an answer to the public one way or another. You're gonna have people happy that we're not doing it, or if we choose not to do it, you're gonna have people angry that we're not doing it. And if we did sell it, you're gonna have the opposite way around, probably more unhappy that we do sell it. It's just time to answer the question and move on. And I respect what you're saying, Joel, about the jail. I've been fighting this jail for 30 years. Personally, you know, going to meetings and stuff, and if it continues, it continues. Eventually, either the public wakes up and says and understands we need a new facility, or someone's gonna come in and dictate we will build a new one and we'll have no say over it. That's the future that's out there. It's up to the public to decide what they wanna do.
Can I call for a vote here?
Yes, sir.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Briggs,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Chairman Tickman,
Yes.
Commissioner Kiernan,
No.
Commissioner Jackson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Chairman, may I be excused for 5 minutes?
Absolutely. We're going to call a 5-minute recess. Anyone care for an icebreaker? You always have snacks, you know, yeah.
You know, I had a phone call from a few county commissioners. I thought he was gonna come here and say something, he was gonna write a letter that they have some say in that place too.
I do. Nick on there. On their beds.
And I didn't want to write muddy the water tonight, but he was gonna write a letter against, and then say, hey, we have a say this.
Did you guys, did the road commission meet with that guy up in Adams Township?
Hey, Joel.
Complaining about
I just, you've been following emails?
Yeah, I've been following
Kevin has
emails.
not reached out to me about meeting with him.
Joel,
Okay.
you know, he's sitting on this giant polar pop. You'd think he'd be running too. Big one.
And I have, and when she says your team, I don't know if she's including you and I as part of the team or not.
I mean, if I'm available, I go.
Yeah, I actually, you know, it's your district, but I'm on the representative, so. Yes,
Do you
sir.
know if you guys will be talking about the Sharon Avenue renovation stuff on Thursday?
On what?
On Thursday at the jail committee meeting?
What are we talking about tonight? Or
Yeah,
Sharon
but-
Avenue?
Yeah, the Sharon Avenue renovation stuff. Do you know if you guys will be talking about it?
I'm not part of that committee, so I won't be there. That's,
You're
yeah.
on the jail committee, right?
What's that?
You're on the jail committee, right?
Yeah.
Are you guys going to be talking about the Sharon Avenue renovations on Thursday?
Thursday.
Did you get your size right?
It may very well be touched on, but I mean, the more pertinent discussion is coming up.
Yeah, I don't know why they would really talk about it, have comments about
Okay,
it.
I was
It's
just
just, you know,
curious.
it'll probably just be an update of whatever the board has decided.
Yeah, okay. I was just curious because like it's getting late and I kind of get up in the morning and work on the reports.
I don't know, man, you know, late night drama, you never know what happens.
Yeah, you know.
I just figure our last agenda item's gonna take.
Okay, we're gonna start up in about a minute here.
Todd LaRue asked that we wait till he gets back.
Yeah, Todd's part of the.
Most people say, oh, three lines on either side, but. Well, I try.
That's what I figured.
Oh, becoming. Yes, I'm trying to make this been very successful. In the 20s. Which I think it's good for them. They'll do well if they started.
Well, we can deal with the tri-county stuff, that's not, that doesn't, so. We'll reconvene with, on the agenda item, which is number 11, tri-county monthly reimbursement request.
Right, so move that we approve, what month is this gonna be for? April of $70,149.73, Tri-County.
Motion made by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Jensen to approve the monthly reimbursement request for Tri-County public defenders. This month, $70,149.73. Is there further discussion? We had their administrator, Ann Harris, at yesterday's work session, and things are all hitting on all cylinders, right? Yeah, we've made huge progress in getting that those misunderstandings straightened out with the seed money that had originally been fronted to them. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion carries. We're going to come back to the Sharon Avenue renovation.
Todd's back.
Is Todd back? Okay, then we'll move on to item 12. Sharon Avenue renovation. That's for the existing building up on Sharon Avenue. Todd, do you want to lead us on that? Our building inspector, Todd LaRue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, we've been working with OHM on Sharon Avenue building to for a schematic design code review renovation of the existing several meetings with OHM, and you have the schematic design. We're able to create, if you look where the commissioner's hall is, there's a black dotted line there. We're able to create a 3-hour firewall to separate the two buildings and that being said, the building department would move up there, administrative offices would move up there, and the MSU extension office, which we have to provide space for in sometime in the future here, that they're up at the ice arena. And we did go and get all the square footages of all the offices, work with OHM and with the architect to fit them all in there. One of the big things is they were able to come up with a fix for the sanctuary area where the trusses don't meet the snow load and not have to put anything bearing down in the center of the building and leaving that floor space wide open for us. In that schematic design is a report of cost per square foot. I think I'm not sure what page is on it. I'll copy that with me. Page 5. That number on the bottom, you have to add on page 6 is the HVAC options. Went through them with OHM and with our plumbing inspector Chad, and we reviewed them. The option 3 is the most the one that makes the most sense to accommodate different temperatures within. We could do 22 different zones in option 3. It gives some other cheaper options in there, but it's going to be 5 zones and 5 temperature settings for those 5 spaces, no matter who's in them. And there's an option 1 that basically 2 zones. That's it. And this is going to be this and the other half. So some of those, with talking with OHM too, some of those numbers can be looked at and see where we can shave or where we can save some costs.
Todd, in addition to the departments that you mentioned that would be relocating there, this also adds quite a bit of record storage area.
Yeah.
Which we currently have to lease, correct?
Total 11,000 a year.
In record storage. So in that sanctuary area, there's a portion that we work with for different courts that are up there to give them their space to pull all their records out of express storage and store them in our. That's part of it.
And remind me, what's total square footage? Is about 12,000 square foot up there, or what's the total footprint square footage of the whole building?
So I believe it's about 12,000.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We did on that very last page where you see those estimates from the lumber yards. Just to get a feel for just the material to reinforce those trusses in the sanctuary area. They were able to get some quotes for us that we could kind of see what's involved material wise. To make the roof for the current snow load. I believe this winter we shoveled it out.
Is what, 90?
We're at 80 right now for that.
And code is 90.
No, we're at 80 right now.
Right. No, I understand that, but we have to bring it up to 90 pounds.
No, we have to bring it to 80.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Home County has 3 different snow
Gotcha.
loads.
All right.
70, 80, and 90.
So what are we at now? What's the building have the half?
They wouldn't even come out. They said you're lucky if you got 30 on that.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
The
Okay.
engineer, he looked up there and said, I think the grace of God kept this up.
So your point is we should invest on securing the roof no matter what happens.
no matter what happens.
Well, it would have to be, if it's going to be occupied.
Just to protect, well,
Yes.
that- just to protect our investment, even if it's kept empty. I mean, just,
But
you know.
as far as, as far as the benefits of this proposal, moving with the departure or the relocation of the departments that we mentioned earlier, that eliminates that eases the overcrowding that we're currently experiencing in several of our departments. One of the more notable ones is our clerk and register of deeds.
It'll pull a lot of traffic,
Yeah.
traffic and vehicles away from this building. If the
Mhm.
building environment was moved up there.
Yeah.
On that first floor, the floor is steady.
Yes. And which helps to maintain or improve the security, because this is the courthouse. This is where front of court, this district and circuit court. So not only does it provide more workspace for our remaining departments here, but it in theory would make the security easier to enforce down here as well.
One thing I don't see in your cog, maybe this is my old eyes in small print, but is there, as far as for the clerk, record keeping and storage or a safe, is that?
No, we toured the courthouse, and because of the clerk's vault storage of important records and that, there was not the volume and square footage up there to move the clerk nor the treasurer up there. The building just wasn't big enough. If you look at the footprint that's on there, the blue shaded portion is the building department up in the front corner. Administrative is in the pink, and then the MSU extension.
If we need anything for records, I mean, for you or for anybody?
Oh, the records are over there to that sanctuary side. You see. This is all record storage.
What does that need to be not secured? What is that, like, safe, or is that, I mean, is this?
That'll be
For all of our
secured, no, that'll be secured for the courts.
Okay, yeah.
And our county maintenance manager, Tom Bingham, felt the footage there would take all what we're renting out space for right now. The ceiling is what, 12 feet? Plus the trusses are open,
High storage.
so we can go high storage in there, and we'd have to probably get a little lift to go down that middle hallway, so for safety of lifting the boxes up, but we can go quite high with the storage.
Well, excellent concept. I think this meets. When we bought it, this was what our plan, plan was to reuse it and to use it, appropriately and to, take some pressure off of the existing courthouse for space and basically be an administrative annex. And
Exactly.
obviously there's cost involved, but the plan isn't to have an actual commissioner location, so we don't have to borrow the circuit court. Makes sense, and as we talked about, more storage is vital. I mean, we're gonna pay for it one way or the other.
Yeah, with the building has been pretty well maintained with the exception of the snow load, the roof load. Other than that, the building is pretty solid. We feel that with the engineering repairs to it for the structural engineering, which I really applaud OHM on, I really envision that because we cutting holes in the concrete and putting footings down and stuff like that. They came up with a pretty good plan to beef this up and secure it. They said the roof is solid outside of that once it's beefed up. And it really takes care of a lot of the problems that we have now and in the future as we grow, the county grows. MSU extension has to go somewhere. And we're in the renting space for them in the future. There's no room in this building.
And right now we're leasing storage space.
And we're leasing storage space at a ballpark of $11,000 a year. So, equate that in about 10 years, you're talking some repayment back to the county. There's some savings to the county. The commissioner of hall is valuable. Moving Todd's office, the building department up there will reduce quite a bit of foot traffic in this building. That right now where he is a single point of entry, that's the focal point when we move to that. It'll eliminate all that foot traffic. He probably has the most foot traffic coming into the building. And we'll move it up there on Sharon Avenue, plenty of parking, secured entrances. Tommy Bingham, our maintenance manager, he'll have his own workshop area up there. He has nothing right now. It's a win-win for the county, and we have the building. It's OHM did a really good job on this, and I also applaud Todd for coming up with the firewall separation to really help this project out.
Well, and really that kind of highlights the departmental team approach on this whole concept, because we need to get the engineering plans approved or recommended by the board, but going forward for the actual renovations, there's some significant portion that the county can do themselves, working with our department, with our maintenance and our building department, which will make things much more affordable. Did you care to comment on that, Todd?
Yeah, I don't want to forget about one thing with we talked about the early voting, that would give her a space to do the early voting, and all her early voting machines and stuff. We have a secure place to lock them up. I think they're full of traffic through the commissioner's halls that we got drawn out on to help out with the early voting. You want to talk about the early voting with it, Jeffrey?
So everybody knows that we have moved from the city center over to the Hopo Arena. So right now, the city of Hancock is not charging me at all for storing all of that equipment. We're upstairs. Am I concerned now that they put me upstairs with condensation and different stuff with that arena? Oh, yes, I am. But right now, that was our only option. So my hope, and I asked at, I forget what meeting it was, if that could be an option for the early voting center to be moved up to Sharon Avenue. And Alex thought in his IT area, which would be so secure, if the election equipment could be stored then and there. So if that is an option, because I mean, if they make us leave the Hopo Arena, I don't know where we will go, and we have to have it, it's state mandate.
Well, that's one of the nice things about it. It's easily accessed up there by the general public, a good level parking area, and it's all on one floor. So it allows you to continue during that early voting process. It allows you to continue your overwhelming everyday duties operating the clerk's office and the register of deeds. So you don't have to contend with the early. If we were to, the only other option is we're trying to figure out where to put early voting here in the courthouse, and that would be it wouldn't be very convenient. Let's put it that way. So
go back to the construction part of the chairman, like you said, in-house. We've looked at it. We've looked at, the framing. We've looked at the preliminary reinforcing of the trusses and stuff, and with under the guidance of the engineers, I mean, between myself and Joe Watson and Tom Bingham, in the wintertime, if things are a little bit slower, you definitely be able to save the county money. But if it works out that way, do this in phases. Now, that all has to be discussed and save some money on the patient project.
is there a recommendation on this?
First of all, we need to look at this sheet here.
So this is the schematic design that they did to get their layout in that.
You should have it.
Without the actual engineer's drawings for construction, we can't go any farther. And OHM has put the amendment number 1 together. If you go to the second page, the third page of that amendment number 1, and the compensation for OHM to bring us to full design, our structural drawings, and then the HVAC and electrical drawings. They have amended the contract for that design. It's $113,500. Now, the 3,600 and the 18,000 for bidding and contracted administrative is hourly. That's an estimate. They will not exceed that, and if they go over it, that's them. They explain to me, and they only bill hourly, so if they don't use that amount, you don't pay it. Reading through their contract, but what they're gonna supply to us is the total package of what we need in order to move on, in order to even put it on the bids. If we have put certain sections on our bids, like our HVAC and all our electrical. OHM would be handling that. So after reviewing this and talking to Chelsea and talking to Commissioner Fritz, my recommendation that if we can move forward, this is what we have to do. Keep the ball rolling.
Yes, with our conversation was to use ARPA money to do this. If you look, like Todd said, it's a 16-week window that puts us into September for construction. And if there's any ARPA money left over to work on this project, it would have to be used by the end of the fiscal calendar year. So that gives us September. You know, the big expense is the heating system putting in there, and to get that all done before, if we move forward, the county decides to go forward with it after the drawings and the bids, we'd have a 4-month window to do it.
So I missed yesterday's meeting, but what do we figure we have still a balance unexpended for ARPA?
$1 million.
Oh, really? Dude, like, that's a good meeting.
It could be possibly be more, but it's a solid $1 million anyway.
Wow.
But our conversation was that she'll also authorize this out of ARPA money for right now,
Right.
until she gets a couple more nails in the coffin on it.
I can tell Commissioner Johnson has a question.
But isn't some of that already spoken for?
No,
Oh, great. Awesome.
no. Refer back to the packet. I don't know if Joel or Glenn received that, but our consulting accountant, Easton Lightela, provided a very nice
Was it in
packet.
yesterday's packet? I didn't see it in there, but was it in there?
It should be in your drawer
Okay.
from yesterday.
I got it. I didn't go through it then. It must be.
Yeah. Can't miss it. It has lots of nice colors in it.
Yeah.
Red and
All right.
Yeah, really nice job with it. So with that, I'd like to make a motion that we use ARPA funds to go forward with OHM for $113,500 to do the design, construction, bidding, and contract administration for the Sharon Avenue property.
Second.
motion made by Commissioner Britt, supported by Commissioner Anderson to approve the OHM Amendment 1 contract.
I just have one question, maybe, Todd. Obviously OHM is doing with them because they're the most familiar with that building. Is that correct? Or no one else bid on this?
Yeah, we put it on a bid for schematic design and everything.
And they're the only ones that.
We had 3 bidders, they were the low bidder.
But they didn't do some work on this OHM? Or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, they did back in when Administrator Larson was here.
So they had some familiar, I guess that's my question.
Yeah, they had some familiar.
I think that was.
They've been with us on this building for more ago.
Mhm. Further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Britt,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Chairman Tickner,
Yes.
Commissioner Karen,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you.
I guess
Todd.
if I may say one more thing with this, apologies that there's no copies for anybody that's just came in. This came in just before the meeting and this came in late this afternoon. So that's why there's nothing out here for the public, and it was just my apologies for that.
We're moving on to item K, which is other business and communications. In your packet, you received a welcome letter from Kevina Economic Development Alliance. That's actually for Houghton County's continued membership with KEDA, and this year they were kind enough to send a plaque over. There'll be a traveling trophy. No, it's a very nice plaque. KEDA, of course, has been around a long time. It was actually its predecessor was help me out here, Glenn, but its predecessor was Phil Musser. And back in those days, they went by a different name. I forget what it was, but it was.
That's true. I can't remember what it was.
But this organization was created really with the closing of Calumet and Hecla, our last big mining company. And but over the years, what they've become is nothing short of remarkable. Our treasurer paid some acknowledgement to KEDA's assistance with our land bank and also with the redevelopment projects that they were involved in every single community. It's really remarkable what they've done. So anyway, we've got a thank you plaque for support of KEDA.
That can hang in Commissioners Hall on Sharon Avenue. The first one.
There we go. There we go. There are no travel requests, no further appropriations. So we're at public comments on any topic. Open public comments.
From Hancock and member of the jail committee. It's been a great discussion that we've just been having. I want to say that I agree with Commissioner Karen that going back to the public with exactly the same story would not seem to make much sense. I would argue that the process that the board has authorized since last November is a new process that has now been very substantially advanced and maybe even completed of addressing the concerns of the public as expressed to people, many members of the public who served on the 3 jail committees and the subcommittee to establish what concerns folks had. The concern about taxes was, I think by consensus, the strongest heard objection to the jail plan that was voted on last year. But there were other concerns as well, including a lot of uncertainty as to whether the county had dug into questions of other places to find the funds for the jail. And that was why Commissioner Karen's committee was formed, was to do that digging, and that process, as summarized by Chairman Pickenen, has now gone through its full number of steps. Other concerns about the size and design of the jail are still on the table. The jail plan that we voted on last August was a 70-bed jail, and I know if the sheriff were here, he would be very concerned about talk of anything less, but there has been a lot of talk of perhaps being more modest in that housing design for the jail, and that would certainly affect the cost of the project, which would make it not the same project. The community corrections program that we voted on today to join with Marquette in that program is a spectacular program that is meant to allow pre-trial inmates to not be housed in the jail. Pre-trial inmates who need to be properly controlled whatever's appropriate to those individuals, either through addiction services or electronic monitoring. But if it can be done appropriately, and that's the magic of that community corrections program, is allowing pretrial monitoring to happen appropriately and safely for the community, but not have those people housed in the jail. So that's another thing that needs to be part of our new plan, and it will not be the same plan that we will be voting on if we are participating in community corrections. Did you call my time? Time. So my time is up, so I apologize for that, but I think there's a lot more to be said about some changes to the plan before we go to the public, and we've done our homework. It's just a matter of getting it out there.
Thank you. Other public comments? Alex, anyone out there?
No hands up on Zoom.
Under announcements, I just wanted to remind the board and the community that we did receive a very informative presentation from Gallagher, the consultants who are finalizing our compensation study. And learned a lot yesterday, but we do have those all printed off for you commissioners to review. That presentation has been recorded. Is that accessible, Alex?
Yesterday's work session?
Yeah.
It will be soon.
So enjoy the fact that those are available for review. I really want you to dig into that because it's some interesting determinations. We have some work to do on it as far as figuring out the unclassified folks, or however they were referred to. And but for the most part, I guess if you really had to just throw a horseshoe at the pin, we didn't get a ringer, but we're close. As far as where we should be on some wages, there's a couple of exceptions that are higher than what would normally be seen, and some that need to be adjusted. And there's a bunch of strategies to consider going forward as far as bringing everything into line. And I believe it's imperative because our staff, our workers need to feel that they are being very fairly treated. But I think the preliminary results aren't too alarming. Would you agree?
I would agree.
But I think it will continue to provide a lot of benefits for ongoing annual budget planning. And I hope we'll find that useful, this coming up before our fiscal year begins in October. So dig into that. That's available to the community as well. And let's see, anything further on the wage study? It is not complete yet, but it's darn close. But with the ball's in our court now, we need to get back to the consultants to work on that. Any other announcements? I just want to throw a haymaker out there and say, hey, you know what? These evening meetings are great. I love you people, but I don't love you that much. Can we consider going back to afternoon meetings? There, I just said it. Planting a seed, see what you guys think. This is our most fabulous time of the year. I would just as soon be spending it outdoors during our beautiful Kevin
Before I make
evenings.
a motion to adjourn, I would agree, Mr. Chairman, it's unfortunate that, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Half the audience is company heads here, the department heads.
Well,
I feel like when you had morning meetings, we had better attendance.
and I'll pile on that because, these people that are here from our clerk or our department heads, they put in ridiculously long days.
I think we tried. I think we moved to the evening. I think our attendance went down, and I think it's something to talk about. So I'll throw a haymaker back at you and make a motion to adjourn so I don't get punched again.
Let's that sounds good. We'll have it on next month's
Second
agenda.
that motion to adjourn, but Willing to look at whatever time is appropriate.
All those in favor, get up and leave, as Albert would say.
Do you want to show you? I'm gonna give them to Chelsea if you don't want them.
You get her the original that he gave me.
There's a couple extra copies.
Hey, Chairman, take a minute.